moments where they forgot the camera was rolling. When real emotions leak out of the frame, there are actors who perform for the camera. And then there are duos whose chemistry is so natural, so instinctive, so unforced, that the camera simply becomes a witness to something genuine. Freen and Becky belong to the second category. Over time, fans have realized something unique about them. Their most heart-melting, most unforgettable moments don't happen in scripted scenes. They happen accidentally, off to the side, between takes, in the quiet, in the laughter, in the unspoken ways they read each other. These are not fan service gestures. They aren't acting. They are small pieces of real human warmth that slipped through the cracks, moments they never intended to show the world. Here is the full, expanded deep dive into the times Freen and Becky completely forgot the camera was rolling, and revealed something far more intimate than any script could ever capture. The shoulder tap that spoke like a private language. It happened during a casual behind-the-scenes cut. Nothing glamorous, nothing staged. Becky looked a little tired, blinking slowly as she listened to instructions from the crew. Freen was mid-sentence, focused on answering a question. But even while speaking, she noticed Becky's shift in energy. And without breaking her flow, without even looking directly at her, she reached over and tapped Becky's shoulder. Softly, gently, her thumb brushing in a slow circle. It was the kind of comforting gesture people usually reserve for someone they're deeply familiar with. Becky instantly relaxed, leaning slightly into the touch before straightening up again. It wasn't meant for the camera. It wasn't meant for fans. It was instinct, pure and unfiltered. In that one simple touch, it felt like they communicated more than an entire dialogue scene ever could. When scripted laughter turned into something real, it was supposed to be a simple, staged laugh. The director wanted a joyful reaction for a promotional clip. They tried. They smiled. They followed instructions. But Becky, being effortlessly mischievous, gave Freen that tiny teasing smirk, the one she only ever uses when she's trying to break Freen's composure. And Freen fell for it instantly. Her laughter wasn't the clean, camera-ready kind. It was loud, real, uncontrolled. She covered her mouth, her shoulders shaking, unable to keep a straight face. The staff reminded them to refocus. They nodded seriously. And then Becky gave her the same smirk again. And Freen broke again. The cameras captured everything. Two people whose connection can't be switched off just because someone shouts, "Action." Their natural chemistry was stronger than the script. The unscripted hairfix that fans still talk about. One windy day during filming, Becky's hair kept blowing into her face. She brushed it away once. 3 times. You could see she was getting annoyed. And then, without a word, Freen stepped closer. She didn't ask. She didn't hesitate. She simply reached up and fixed Becky's hair herself, carefully tucking it behind her ear. The touch was soft, practiced, like she had done it many times before. Becky didn't flinch. She didn't even blink. She just looked at Freen with that small, grateful smile that silently says, "You always get me." The cameras caught the entire moment. Unscripted, unplanned, undeniably intimate. Co-stars don't fix each other's hair like that. People who care do. When they were supposed to rest, but couldn't stop talking. Between takes, actors usually drift off, checking lines, drinking water, scrolling their phones. But Freen and Becky, they always drifted toward each other. During one scene transition, the camera continued recording for bloopers. Instead of separating, they stood shoulder to shoulder, leaning in so close that their whispers didn't travel beyond their bubble. Becky said something low, something playful, and Freen's entire face softened. She covered her smile with her hand, leaning even closer. It wasn't the kind of whispering that coworkers do. It was the kind of whispering two people share when the world around them doesn't matter as much as the person they're talking to. The director called action, and they startled slightly, not because they weren't ready, but because they had forgotten everything outside their shared moment. The instinctive hand-hold that nobody could unsee. At a fan event packed with cameras and noise, Becky stepped back unexpectedly and reached out for balance. Without looking, without turning, her hand landed naturally in Freen's. And Freen didn't just hold her hand, she tightened her grip. They continued speaking to the crowd as if nothing happened, but their hands stayed linked for a long moment. It was effortless, natural, familiar. The kind of gesture that doesn't come from practice, but from habit. The look that wasn't meant for the public. During an interview, Becky spoke passionately about their work. The main camera focused on her, but a secondary angle captured Freen. Freen wasn't acting. She wasn't posing or performing. She was simply looking at Becky. And the look was soft, proud, warm. The kind of look you give someone who makes your world brighter. When Becky turned toward her unexpectedly, Freen quickly looked away, a tiny flush in her expression, as if her private thoughts had been exposed. That moment wasn't for fans. Wasn't for media. Wasn't for the camera. It was just real. The break they never took. During a photo shoot, the photographer called for a short break. Most actors relax, check their makeup, talk to staff. But Freen and Becky stayed right where they were. Still standing close, still talking softly, still smiling at each other like the world around them had disappeared. The crew didn't call them back to position, 'cause they never left it. Their comfort with each other wasn't a performance. It was muscle memory. The laugh that only exists for one person. Fans have noticed it. Freen laughs differently with Becky. One moment captured by a behind-the-scenes cam showed Becky whispering something, too soft for anyone else to hear, and Freen responded with that laugh. The kind of laugh that slips out only when someone knows how to reach the quietest part of you. When Freen realized the camera caught her, she looked away, suddenly self-conscious. Real moments always reveal themselves in reactions like that. When the world around them blurred out. During an outdoor shoot, staff moved equipment, fans cheered from afar, the director yelled instructions. Chaos everywhere. But Freen and Becky stood facing each other, talking quietly. They weren't rehearsing. They weren't acting. They were simply lost in each other for a few seconds. So lost, in fact, that Becky didn't realize the camera was rolling again until someone tapped her shoulder. She blinked, startled, and Freen laughed softly, the kind of laugh that says, "We really forgot we're not alone, didn't we?" Ending. The beauty of what was never meant to be seen. The magic of Freen and Becky isn't in the big, scripted, dramatic moments. It's in the small ones. The effortless ones. The ones that happen when they think no one is paying attention. Because those are the moments that reveal the truth. When they forget the camera, they remember each other. And that's why fans feel their connection so deeply. Because the most genuine parts of their bond aren't performed. They're lived.